Hey guys, welcome back. I'm excited you're here today. We are going to dive into something that just might completely change how you think about nutrition. We're talking about why your current nutrition plan might actually be working against you and how something called reverse dieting could be the missing piece you've been searching for. So if you're a busy parent who's been following nutrition plan after nutrition plan, but you're still feeling tired, still struggling with your weight, and you still can't seem to find something that sticks, I got you today. This one's for you, my friend. I'm going to share why most nutrition plans fail in the long run and why your metabolism might be slower than it should be, how reverse dieting can restore your energy, improve your relationship with food, and actually help you maintain results for the long term. Now, I have to tell you, my clients are constantly messaging me about how amazed they are with how much food they can actually eat and still lose weight. They're shocked that eating more is actually the key to getting the results they've been chasing with restriction. So this isn't just another quick fix or trendy diet, because you guys know I don't do that over here. This one's about understanding how your body can actually work when you give it what it needs to thrive. So grab your notebook and settle in, and let's talk about the nutrition truth that could change everything for your family's health legacy. Welcome to Strength for Generations, the go-to podcast for Christian families who want to build strength, restore energy, and deepen connection with God at the center. I'm Krista Baker, Christian health coach, wife, mom, and co-founder of Baker Family Fitness. I'm here to help you honor God with your health and bring peace back to the process, to simplify what it means to build strength in your body, renew your mind, and care for your spirit, all without losing precious time with your family. So grab your coffee and your ribeye, and let's do this His way. Okay, my friends, before we dive into today's topic, I want to share some of the client wins that I'm having in my group. They show what is possible when you start working with your body instead of against it. So just this week alone, here's what some of my clients told me. One lady said, I'm eating better and having way less cravings, and I'm finally sleeping better and finally getting asleep like much quicker. I'm feeling much clearer, headed and sleeping through the night without those long periods of wakefulness. Another one, I went clothes shopping and I'm down 2 pant sizes. Another one, I started to fit into my smaller clothing. Another one said, I can see a slight curve coming in my waist. Another one said, I'm sticking to the plan and got all my workouts done on the right days. But here's one of my favorite ones this week. I had a mom share with me that she used physical exercise as a solution when she was having an emotional challenges with her daughter. So they got exercise together and it solved a lot of problems for the day. She's not just changing her own health, she's modeling for her family and her daughter how to use movement and healthy habits to manage stress and emotions. That's what building strength for generations looks like. And here's what I love most about these wins. They aren't people following extreme diets or punishing workout routines. They're busy parents just like you, just like me. We're learning to work with our bodies, not against them, discovering that sustainable health doesn't require perfection or restriction. It just requires understanding and consistency. So if you're listening to these wins and thinking, I want that for my family too, well, I'd love to help you get there. Right now, I have 2 spots opening in my Firm Foundation 6-month coaching program this month. This is where I work directly with parents who are ready to build sustainable health habits that honor God and support their families. We focus on strength training, proper nutrition, developing the mindset that creates lasting change. But more than that, we focus on creating a health legacy that your children will carry forward. So if that sounds like something you'd like to learn more about, just send me an email, support@bakerfamilyfitness.com, and I can share some details about the program, and we'll see if it's a right fit for you and me and just the season of life that you're in. Now, let's get into talking about why nutrition plans might be failing you. So I'm going to be honest with you about something. For years, I thought I was doing everything right with my nutrition. Eating clean foods, following meal plans, doing all the right things, cutting calories when I wanted to lose weight. But I was exhausted all the time. I'd lose weight, then gain it back. And even after one meal, it would feel like it would just stick to my belly. It would make me really bloated and inflamed just because everything else was so restricted all the time. Start with a new plan, fall off after a few weeks. The whole time I felt like I was failing, just failing at something that I should be so simple. Why was it so simple for everyone else? And I remember one particular season when I was following what everyone else said was a healthy diet. I was eating 1,200 calories a day, mostly salads and lean protein. I was working out consistently. I had no energy to play with my kids after dinner, and I was cranky and short-tempered with my family. And despite all my efforts, my weight would barely budge. It would just kind of be like the same 5 pounds that we would be losing. It was down and up all the time. And it felt like my body, I don't know, I just thought it was broken. Because I hear that all the time. People are like, well, my metabolism's broken. It's not broken. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It was protecting me from what it perceived as starvation. After months of eating too few calories, my metabolism had slowed down to match my intake. My body was holding onto every calorie because it didn't know when the next meal was coming. And that's when I learned about reverse dieting. That completely changed how I understood nutrition, how I approach it with my family, and honestly, how I got rid of food fear and just issues that I had with certain foods, right? I just was so afraid to have some stuff. So I stopped fighting my body and I learned how to work with it. I learned how to restore my metabolism, how to eat more food while maintaining my results, and most importantly, how to actually model a healthy relationship with food around my children. So that's what I'm sharing with you today, my friends. Okay, let's break down exactly why most nutrition plans fail and how reverse dieting fixes them. Your metabolism adapts to low calories. When you eat fewer calories than your body burns for an extended period, your metabolism slows down to match that intake. This is called metabolic adaptation, and it's your body's survival mechanism. Your body doesn't know the difference between intentional dieting and actual starvation. So when calories are consistently low, your body reduces energy expenditure to preserve your life. So it slows down the non-essential functions like hair growth, nail strength, and even your ability to regulate body temperature. Your body also reduces something called NEAT, which is all the small movements you make throughout the day. You might find yourself fidgeting less, taking the elevator instead of stairs, or just feeling less motivated to move. This is where reverse dieting comes in. Instead of staying stuck in low-calorie mode, we gradually increase your food intake over several weeks or months. So I typically add 50 to 100, usually around 80 calories. Well, it depends on the individual, but anywhere between 50 to 100 calories every 1 to 3 weeks, depending on how your body responds. So what that would look like is every, say week 1, you add that 100 extra calories. You're eating 1,200, so now you're going to 1,300, and you do that for a week, body responds well. Do that for another week, still responds well. The next week you might go up, depending on the individual. So it helps to increase your metabolism to speed back up without causing unnecessary weight gain. Instead of going 1,200 to 1,800, if you're supposed to be having 1,800, to make that big leap would feel like way too much for you. So your body starts to trust that food is available and it begins to increase your energy output again. So you'll start to notice you have more energy. Next, your hormones get out of balance with chronic restriction. So that long-term calorie restriction disrupts the hormones that control hunger, fullness, energy, and even your mood. Hormones like leptin, which tells you when you're full, decrease significantly. Ghrelin, which makes you feel hungry, increases. And for women, reproductive hormones can be affected, leading to irregular cycles or other issues. Your body prioritizes survival over everything else. When it senses that food is scarce, it shifts resources away from functions it considers non-essential. This includes proper hormone production and regulation. Low leptin levels means you never feel truly satisfied after meals. High ghrelin levels means you're constantly thinking about food. And disrupted reproductive hormones affect everything from your energy levels to your ability to build muscle. So reverse dieting helps to restore hormonal balance by providing your body with adequate nutrition. So as we gradually increase your calories, leptin production improves, which helps to normalize your hunger and fullness cues. Ghrelin levels stabilize so you're not constantly battling cravings. And with adequate nutrition, your body can resume proper hormone production across the board. This is why many women find their energy improves, their mood stabilizes, and their cycles regulate during a reverse diet. Next, muscle loss makes future weight loss harder. So when you're in a caloric deficit for too long, especially without adequate protein and strength training, you lose muscle mass along with fat. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it burns calories even at rest. So when you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down even further. I always say that's why guys get to eat more. The ones that have more muscle, they eat more because they have more muscle on their body. Your body will sacrifice muscle tissue to preserve fat stores when it perceives starvation. I always say muscle is expensive in the body. It costs too much to have it in there, so it's going to pare it down faster. So when you go from like this survival perspective, this makes sense because fat provides more stored energy than muscle. From a health and metabolism perspective, this is exactly what we don't want. Less muscle means a slower metabolism. It also means less strength, less energy, and a higher risk of regaining weight as fat when you return to normal eating. That's why I like the whole, people go on these massive diets or they're on Ozempic, they lose all this weight, and then it comes back faster because we haven't dealt with the root. So reverse dieting combined with strength training helps preserve and even build muscle mass. As we increase your calories, we make sure to keep protein high to support muscle protein synthesis. The additional energy from carbs and fats fuels your workouts and your recovery. This creates an environment where your body can maintain or build muscle while restoring metabolic function. More muscle mass means a faster metabolism, better body comp. So remember, muscle and fat look different under the skin, and improved strength for all the activities that matter to you as a parent. Next, we have the psychology cycle that keeps you stuck. So most nutrition plans create this all or nothing mentality that leads to a cycle of restriction and overeating. You follow the plan perfectly for a while, then life happens, like Easter comes, or March break, or your kid's birthday, or your birthday, or a vacation. And then we fall off. That leads to guilt, which often triggers more overeating, which leads to starting over with an even more restrictive plan. So when you're constantly restricting foods or eating very low calories, your brain becomes obsessed with what you can't have. This is a normal psychological response to deprivation. The guilt and shame that comes from failing at a diet creates stress, which actually makes it harder to make good food choices. So each time you restart with a more restrictive approach, you're setting yourself up for the same cycle. And there's times like I have clients that we have to pull back on some things, but we work on healing organs. It's different than just weight loss. And so we have to speak to ourselves about it in a different way. But reverse dieting breaks this cycle by gradually increasing your food intake in a controlled way. So instead of jumping from that restriction to overeating, you learn what it feels like to eat adequately without going overboard. You develop trust in your body's signals and confidence in your ability to maintain balance. This psychological shift is just as important as the metabolic benefits. You stop viewing food as the enemy and start seeing it as fuel for the life you want to live. I always say you got to feed your goal. Like, if my goal is to be strong and energetic, well, we have to feed that goal. If my goal is to lose weight, well, we have to feed that goal, right? And so let's just do a recap of what we've covered today. Your nutrition plan might be failing because it's working against your body's natural design, not with it. When you restrict your calories for too long, your metabolism slows down, your hormones get disrupted, you lose muscle mass, and you get trapped in a psychological cycle that's hard to break. Reverse dieting fixes all of these problems by gradually increasing your food intake in a structured way. It restores your metabolism, balances your hormones, preserves muscle mass, and helps you to develop a healthier relationship with food. This isn't about eating whatever you want, whenever you want. It's about understanding how your body works and giving it what it needs to function optimally. It's about modeling sustainable health habits for your children. And it's about honoring God with your body by treating it with wisdom and care, not punishment and restriction. So once again, my friends, you're not broken. Your body's not working against you. It's doing what it's literally doing what you're giving it. We feed it, we get what we get. We get what we give. If we're not giving it what it needs, it's just designed to keep you alive. It wants to be healthy. When you work with your body instead of fighting it, amazing things are going to happen. I know this full well. I get to do this with people all the time, and it's such a beautiful, honestly, I love my job more than anything. Well, not more than anything. That's not true. I love my job. I love what I get to do, because when I have people tell me the wins that I hear every single week, I feel like this is it. This is what I'm called for. This makes me so happy, because then you have more energy for your family. And who doesn't want to have more energy for their family? Who doesn't want to feel stronger and more confident and create that foundation of health that actually can carry you through every season of life? I had an old client reach out to me and share with me that she was at a Jays game and she was looking around and they're celebrating all of these, how many hot dogs we can win. And she's like, I still hear you in my voice. And I can see why people are just really unwell. And so I know if you're listening to this podcast right now, that you want to be well, that you desire to be well. And sometimes it just means that you need to ask for help. And so that's all we have for today. I'm really grateful that you come and listen to this episode. Remember, I have 2 spots opening up this month. That's it. That's all we're taking this month. And if you're ready to build that lasting health habits that honors God and supports your family, maybe we'd be a good fit together. If not, until next time, I just want you to keep thinking about building strength that lasts for generations. Thanks for tuning in to Strength for Generations. If this podcast encouraged you, it would be a blessing if you took a quick minute to leave a 5-star review. It helps more families hear this message and find hope for their health and faith journey. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. And if you feel led to share this episode, text it to a friend, post it to your stories, or send it to someone on your heart. God might use it to encourage someone who really needs it today. And don't forget to eat steaks, lift weights, love Jesus, and keep doing it His way.